Hey guys, what's going on? It's another great episode of Lunchtime Talk with Steve. Of course, I'm your host, Steve Barrow, and today we have Earl Ferguson on with us. He is a broken glass artist. All right, now you got to see some of his work. I'm telling you, this guy is awesome. All right, so we'll be back with you in just a moment. Go ahead and share the link with your friends, your relatives, your favorite group, all that good stuff. All right, and we'll be right back with you. All right, and we're back. So, all right. Tracy already has a comment. She says she was born in Omaha. All right, Tracy, let me go ahead and bring one of your fellow Omaha. I don't know how to pronounce it. What would you call a person from Omaha? Ohamian? I don't know. Someone out there is going to correct me. I'm pretty sure. But let me go ahead and bring Earl in. Hey, Earl, how you doing?
Hey, how are you doing there, Steve?
I am doing great. I'm doing awesomely awesome. So what do you call a person from Omaha?
Well, that's a good question. I would have to actually research that one. I left there when I was like 2 years old, so that's kind of. It's good to know that there's somebody else out there from Omaha. Very, very
All right. So let's go ahead and get started. I mean, so is the proper title a broken glass artist? That's what the proper title is.
The title is actually Uncut Glass Pictures.
Ah, uncut glass. Okay. So tell me about how you got started with this. I was reading the the promo and I mean go ahead, you got to tell the story.
Well, I'll be honest with you, it really just fell in my lap. This was years ago. I had a mirror on my wall, and for some reason I didn't put that mirror up correctly. And that mirror just fell and shattered. I was so pissed off, you wouldn't believe it. But in the process of sweeping up the pieces, I saw a piece that looked like a hand. I couldn't believe it. It really looked like a hand. I picked it up, I put it on the table, And then from there, I just started assembling pieces. I got really fascinated by the shapes that came out. And that's kind of how I got started. I never went to school. Um, and it's just a gift that fell in my lap, and that's kind of where I'm at. I actually started these pictures a little over 20 years ago, and I did a few of them, and then I stopped for like 20 years, to be honest with you. And I started making them again early last year. The reason I really started making them is I started to go back and forth to Maryland, and I made one, and my sister really loved it, but her friends kept bothering her, like, where did you get that? You know, and there was all these questions for many years. And then when I left there last Christmas, not this Christmas here, but the Christmas before that, and she told me that don't be surprised if somebody come in and steal that picture. A light bulb just kind of blew up in my head. And when I came back to Florida early last year, I said, well, I'm going to buy some materials, and I started again. So that's kind of how I really got serious last year.
All right. So tell us about the painting that we were just looking at.
That's actually with strictly stained glass. There's no mirrors on this one. What happened in 2019, I used to only use shattered pieces of mirror. And I went to a show one day, and a person said, you ever start thinking about using stained glass? And to be honest with you, I know stained glass is a little more expensive. And then I decided to start making them with stained glass. And I found that they were very colorful. This one is a person on a coconut tree. It was kind of me reminiscing when I was back in Jamaica. I spent a good 10 years in Jamaica with my grandmother there. And I remember a lot of people climbing on the coconut tree, getting a coconut. And this is kind of, you can actually use it as another type of tree, but I was kind of reminiscing during that period, a person chopping a coconut from a coconut tree.
Okay, that's pretty cool, because I mean it's like some art you especially when you know, like you call it abstract art, but some art you know you gotta try to use your imagination or whatever. This is like right there in your face. You could see what this is. This is not, there's nothing abstract about this. It's like you could see the person climbing up the tree, you know. This is awesome. How much does a piece like this go for?
A piece like this, you're talking about maybe 150. I need to correct one thing. The cutlass is actually a shattered piece of mirror. That's the only piece with mirror. Everything else is stained glass. So the price is kind of, you know, depends on the size. It depends on the amount of work. But I try to stay within a very reasonable price range, from anywhere from $75 to $350. So this one here is pretty much well priced.
All right. And then let's look at, there's another piece that we have as well here, which is this one.
Yes, that's a Market Day 3. That's a much larger picture, to be honest with you. That's I would say that's about 29 by 39 in terms of the dimension in inches. It's actually four people going to the market. You have the last person in the back actually have a bunch of banana in their backs.
On the back, yeah, and the others have the baskets on their head. I remember those days.
Yeah, this is Market Day 4. I've actually made 4 different Market Days, and this is Market Day 4. So this is probably the biggest one I ever made, and I was very excited how it came out, because you see the combination of stained glass and mirrors.
And yeah, definitely. And what about the background? The background looks like a painting. Did you paint the background, or what?
I also do my own background. I started out using a roughage background. I used to own a dyeable shoe store after I left Kinney Shoes, and that's kind of how I learned my colors. And this one here is strictly acrylic and you know, spray paint. And that's how I did this particular background.
So tell me a little bit more about you know, your Your time with the shoe store. You said you worked for Kinney Shoes, and then you had your own shoe store, correct?
That is correct.
How long were you in the shoe business?
I was in the shoe business, I would say, for about maybe 30 years. I started out when I left Michigan and I went back to Maryland to work, and I just ended up working for Kinney Shoes as a full-timer, assistant manager, and I went on to be a trainer for Kinney Shoes for many years. A lot of people don't know that Kinney's came out with Foot Locker. Kinney's came out with Foot Locker. Kinney's came out with Champs. And that's kind of why a lot of people really don't know that in terms of the shoe business. But that's kind of where it is. I know after Kinney's closed, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I bought up a lot of the product and opened up my own shoe store. And that's kind of what I did. I had shoes for brides. I had shoes for bridesmaids. It was really a bridal type shoe store. And I did that for a few years. And I really had fun doing that.
And then you retired and found that love of cut glass.
Well, I really didn't retire right after that. I went on to do a few different things. I worked some call centers. I work for AmeriCorps. I don't know if anybody's familiarized with that. AmeriCorps did a lot of volunteer work. So I'm still kind of retired, semi-working, and that's kind of where I'm at. I try to stay busy. But my work right now with these pictures are actually hobby/business.
Yeah, and I've heard you talk about these pictures before. I've seen you at a few different events where you actually donated some of these pictures to different events. And honestly, I see the passion when you're talking about this. I mean, and it's great because they say if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. You're
right about that, Steve. It's a really touchy subject dealing with these broken glass, because I know a lot of people, the superstition, 7 years of bad luck when you're dealing with glass. So I hear a lot of these different things, but I keep positive because I've never been into superstition. I know in Jamaica they had a lot of duppies and ghosts. I don't know if you ever heard the word duppy before.
I'm from Barbados. We know about duppy.
Oh, you do? Okay. But I remember saying that to a few people, and they're they're trying to look up Gungoodle and what kind of word is that? But when we deal with these superstitions, we can't really, we have to pursue what we really love.
I can see them now going, "Hey Google, what is duppy?" Well, I said that and my phone came on.
I know.
Oh man, that's too funny. So, you said you were traveling back and forth to Maryland before. Are you still do you still go back and forth to Maryland?
I still go back and forth. My sister's there. My mother's still there. And, with COVID right now, you don't want to really go anywhere. You want to kind of wait it out because, to me, it's not the right time to travel.
Right.
As much as I want to see them, you have to kind of, be leery of these, not getting on the airlines. But, I just don't want to take that chance right now.
Right. I hear you. I understand. And guys, if any of you guys want to call in, you want to talk directly to Earl, the phone lines are open. You can call right now, 954-933-TALK. That's 954-933-8255. And you'll be right on the line with him. So you could ask him any questions that you want to ask him, try to buy a piece if you want to buy a piece, now the large one that you were talking about before, this one right here, what does something like that go for? Because you said this was an oversized one, right?
Yeah, that's a $300 piece there.
That's good.
It's a lot of people, to be honest with you, when I first started doing these earlier last year, I made a couple, some people got excited because they never seen it before. But when they asked me the price, and I tell them like $100, I haven't heard from them. They're hiding. And, it's because, these days it's a little tough for art, but on a different level, art is actually booming, to be honest with you.
Right.
There's a lot of people that have moved money out of the stock market. They're invested in property. They're invested in art. And I could not believe the amount of art people are selling. Not for myself, but I did my research. and people are in their homes and they're like looking around and they're like, people with money, well, let me change this. So people are making drastic changes, because I will tell you one thing about art. When you have something in your house that really look good and you appreciate it, it makes you feel better. Okay.
Yes.
Art will make you feel better, especially if you appreciate it. And that's what I'm finding out. And sometimes I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sometimes you have to change your surrounding to feel better. And that's what's happening with art right now.
And the thing is, each piece is an original. Each piece is unique. There are no two pieces alike, because you can't break two pieces of glasses alike.
No. And it's I'm glad you brought that up, because people actually think I sit there and I try to cut these pieces. I have never cut a piece of glass to make an object or shape. You have to pick out the piece and go ahead and assemble it to get something in terms of pictures. And that's what I do. The uniqueness about this is using pieces to create something that you would not believe that you could create. So it's imagination. And my pictures actually start from the frames to the background to the picking out what you're going to use with the glass. Because when I was younger, I used to love frames. Frames, I don't know what it is about frames. Unfortunately, when I first started out making pictures early last year, I used to get into these kind of weird looking frames, and people really didn't like they liked the picture, but they didn't like the frames. So now you see them streamlining with the frames that's a lot thinner and more modern, if that's the right word. So that's what's going on with that.
All right. And what about if someone wanted a piece like people playing cricket? If they wanted to commission a piece of people playing cricket or something, what would something like that cost them?
Well, to be honest with you, I try to stay away from commission work. Cricket, I could do something like that, but you would have to come to me. A lot of times I sit down, I don't know what I'm going to do. There have been a couple of commission work that I got away with, but the people were like expecting something else. Now, when you pick out a glass and the lady says, I want to make a picture looking like me, and you're dealing with glass, it's not going to look like you. Okay. So the commission work, like you're dealing with crickets, one wicket might be a little longer than the other. And so what kind of cricket are you playing? What is this? So you have to try to kind of stay away from commission work. And that's what I do. If somebody, one person said, well, I want you to make something that comes to you. I don't know. I don't care what it is. I could kind of deal with that, but you still have to be careful, because you don't know exactly what the person's beliefs are. It's a lot of things that go into them. And I just like when my pictures sell to somebody that really, really appreciate my pictures.
Yeah, and we just had a request to see some of your work again, so I put it back on the screen so Sharon can see it. These are just two of the pictures. How many do you show at any galleries or anything like that, or do you do any kind of art shows?
Yes, I've been to a couple of art shows. What it is, I use my Instagram a lot right now. If somebody wanted to go on Instagram right now and at Ferguson Orel, that's Ferguson Orel, you'll see basically most of my pictures. Right now, I have about 45 pictures. Most of my pictures are actually sold out of town, out of state. I don't know why, but I've been lucky in terms of, I'm not making a killing selling them. I'm not depending on it paying my rent, but it's in an infant stage right now. It's not like I've been doing this for 20 years. I started 20 years ago, but I got serious last year.
So let me ask you, how do you do the glass? Do you just go out in the backyard with a baseball bat and hit a mirror, or what? What do you do?
You got the idea. And at first, I used to look for little broken pieces, but now I just get a sheet of glass. I wrap it up real nice. Sometimes I'll drink a beer before, whatever the case may be there, and I just beat the crap out of it until it splinter in different pieces, and then I use those pieces and I create something. I try to find glass that's already cracked, I repurpose them. But right now, I find that I have to be very careful with the type of glass I get, because it cannot be too thick. The thickness of glass will take away from the image. So I'll look for a much more thinner glass, or a thinner stained glass to make these pictures.
And that just was, I was just about to ask you, have you ever thought about taking the beer bottle when you're done and just cracking that? But then that's too thick. That's the thick glass.
Right. And Steve, I have only used mirrors and stained glass. I have never ventured off in any other glass. I think when it all kind of started was my first picture is using these mirrors. One night I created a small picture and I put it on the wall, and the light was off. And when I looked at it, the reflection was so beautiful, and it really inspired me to make a couple more. So that mirror in a dark background is kind of my pieces I used to start doing at first. If I wasn't transferred to Florida, I probably still would be using that dark background. But when I came to Florida, everything was colorful. Remember the islands, and that kind of forced me to using more color. Okay. Yeah. But my original pieces was just strictly a dark background with the mirror. Yeah.
Hey, Oral, I gotta take a quick commercial break. All right, guys, stay with us. We'll be back in just 2 minutes. All right. All right, there we go. If your car could talk, it would say call Curvin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Curvin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you. Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 754-213-2820.
You take me there. I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving. Shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving.
Well, I know I got what you want. I know you like that dive shrimp. My son fish and them geechee grits. My granddaddy make you have a fit.
Right on.
I try to give you all of my best. I do it straight from the heart. Cook it straight.
That's what it is. Come on down and shuck it and jive it. Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuck It.
All right, and we're back. We're talking with Oral Ferguson, and he is a cut glass artist. Correct? Did I get it right? Sir?
That is correct.
Okay, because I always say broken glass because you break the glass, but we were talking before about your method. So do you go out in the backyard and break the glass with the idea of what you want, or do you just look at it and then you go like how we do with the clouds and we go, that cloud looks like a guy riding a horse, and then you put it together?
To be honest with you, you break it up. I have thousands of pieces, and you kind of look for that. A lot of times you sit there, you can't make anything because nothing come to you. You have to kind of the art with the glass. Sometimes it have to come to you. But the way I get started sometimes is with the thousands of pieces. Sometimes I see that one piece. It could resemble like a shoe, and it's that one piece that get me started. And sometimes you're looking through the pieces, you're just not seeing anything. You're moving things around, and So it's a process. But once you get that one piece, it seems like things come to you. And sometimes you have to wait a couple days to find another piece. And that's kind of how the process goes.
All right. I think I have a comment here. Let me see if I could get the mouse over there to the comment. There we go. Sharon said, you might have answered this already, but what strikes your passion to do this?
I think what really hit the passion was the fact that it was a compliment I really got, and I knew I saw something for myself, but you sometimes you never know how people are going to react. But if somebody keep telling you year in and year out, when are you going to do another one? Or, when they're excited about one that they already have, I think that's the passion is like, you know what? Nobody else is doing it. It's very unique. I think my biggest fear at first was the superstition, 7 years of bad luck. In terms of people, you hear that like one in every, I would say 1 in every 50 customers. The superstition. And art is, it's a lot of criticism when you're dealing with these broken pieces. Right. It takes a person to understand what goes into it, and I just appreciate art in general. And that's why I'm not really running people down trying to sell my work, because my satisfaction comes from them appreciating the art more so than selling it.
So right now you're kind of, you're quarantined at home, or not quarantined, but there's not that many places open. Are you getting more inspiration, and are you doing more work because you're at home a lot now, or did that not make your work increase?
That kind of pushed me a lot more so, because I have more time on my hand. And I see more things. I've created, matter of fact, 3 different coronavirus pictures, and the response in those was very, very positive, because you're leaving history. So I spend a lot of time. I'm getting more technical with the pictures now, and I'm spending more time for the detail. So you never know what somebody's gonna like, but I'm kind of stick on really making sure that I love the piece before I put it out there.
All right, and that's interesting, because it's like, you may not buy it and you may not like it, but another person, I might love it, and right. I'm like, wow. So for you how long does it take you to create a piece?
I could go anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks. 2 weeks is probably on a lot of the bigger ones that if you're going to be selling something for like $300, you're going to be a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be a little bit more careful in terms of the detail involved. The detail is with everyone, but sometimes when I'm making them, I just get totally excited. I just, this is my therapy for myself. I'm not paying for it. People need to go out there and get therapy help. This is my therapy, and that's what I enjoy doing.
All right. And now Sharon was asking, did you go to school for this, or even for the for art? Because like we were showing your pieces, you did the backgrounds and everything. Did you go to school for the art or anything at all?
No, I didn't go to school for any of this at all. Everything is self-taught. And to be honest with you, I've been around some galleries, some artists in the past, and they're using all these big terminologies that I never heard in my life. They're asking me different questions on my piece. And sometimes when I tell them that, I never been to school, this is self-taught, they look at me like the jaws actually drop, because they, you have people with master's degree that went to school for art. And I used to get intimidated at one time, but I don't get intimidated now, because I've been to some art shows that I was actually the talk of the town, because nobody had it. I had a combination of the background with the colors, and then I'm putting something unique in there. So, people would surround me, ask me questions and stuff. So I feel confidence in what I'm doing. And I know I stand out in any art show that I go to, because nobody else is doing it. I'm not cocky, but this is just the way I
feel. I hear you. Oops. I don't know, not picking up. Oh, there we go. For some reason, it didn't want to move over. Sharon was saying she couldn't find you, so I'm actually getting your information here so I can put you on put it on the screen too. Let's see. Let me just go ahead and put that in there. And you guys could call in if you want to talk directly to Oral. You can call in. Let's see, just 954-933-TALK. That's 954-933-8255, and you'll be right on the line, like Phil Donahue. Like, call or say what? Nah, you know. Most of them probably don't even remember who Phil Donahue is.
I know. It's,
you know.
Yeah. He was around for a while, though, if I can remember.
Yeah, he was around for a good while. Yeah, his name is right here on the actually it's right on the screen. Yeah, and I'm here looking up, and I'm typing it. Didn't realize it's right there on the screen. But anyhow, and I'll also have a link on my page to show more. Take you directly to Earl's Instagram and to his Facebook and things like that, so that you guys could just go straight to lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com, click on it, and boom, you just go right to all of his different social media pages. And you are working on a website. It's going to be coming out soon, right?
Yeah, my website is almost finished, and that was outsourced. Steve, making a website for artwork is very, very, it's like you got to be spot on, because people go through it, and if it's not set up correctly, people are gonna miss you. So I have somebody that they're pretty good at what they're doing. So we'll see how it comes out. I'm excited. I'm waiting. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I can't wait either, because I know it's going to be great. And even like artwork on the web, you got to be it's like it has to be constantly changing, because your pieces change a lot. So it's got to be something that you can manage on the fly and everything. So yeah, I understand it does take that extra time to make it happen.
Yeah, that's so true. But
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So where have you shipped pieces to? I mean, you said they're normally out of state. I mean, you ship out the country. Do people have you had someone like a sheik in Dubai order one or something?
It's actually 3 states: Texas, of course, Texas, Boston, and New York, and Maryland. These are the 4 states that I've shipped to. And when you get repeat customers, is even better. Because, I have to say one thing about repeat customers. I had a situation where I made a piece maybe 6 months ago, and then I came up with another piece, and the customer called and said, "Hey, can I exchange it for this new piece?" And, it's kind of tricky when you're dealing with creating something different, because, the art is changing. I'm working right now on the 2-dimensional, where I'm setting glass upon glass to get a different effect. So that's in the work. But that's kind of what it is. If you look at the work from early last year to now, it's like night and day, because I'm kind of evolving. Things are coming to me. So that's what's going on with the new pieces.
So do you typically allow people to trade in a piece, or was that just a one-time special thing?
That's a one-time special thing I did for that customer, because that customer was one of my first customers. Usually I remember my first customers and the ones that really, really got excited when they purchase a piece. You could tell if somebody's buying something just to help you out, or just to, that they're excited. There's 2 kind of customers. There's one that, really, really appreciate it. And there's one that's, "Oral, I know you're kind of retired, so I'm going to buy, what's the cheapest piece you have that I can help you out?" So they would buy something and probably stick it in their garage somewhere. But I'm talking about people that really, really love it and say, "Hey, nobody else have it." Because, to be honest with you, I've had customers that, gave me some feedback after selling stuff. People came over and just kept staring at it, and a whole conversation came up in terms of reaction. And it's different. Nobody else have it. You know, it can't be duplicated. If I wanted to duplicate any of my pictures right now, I could never do it. You know, even with the biggest technology, you can never duplicate a picture. So that's the unique thing about it, is that, you know, people make things out of shells, out of this, out of that. Why not glass? And, you know, I'm just, you know, I keep telling people it's evolving, you know, and it's growing at more people. More people. I had some sales set up before the coronavirus came across. I'll be honest with you. People say, you know, Oral, I'm still working on this. I'm going to get this piece. And when the coronavirus hit, you know, I understand, you know, it's not like I'm calling them to bother them, but I understand with this virus and what's going on, people are not going to spend money on a picture. I'm talking about a different income bracket
Right.
because they have things, they have, a lot of them have their kids, a lot of them, the job is not there anymore. You know, so this is not, you know, the haves and the haves on the needs, and this is something they don't really need. You know what I'm saying? So I take all that in consideration, but it's still not going to really stop me. I'm still going to go ahead and keep doing what I'm doing.
So earlier, the two pieces that we looked at, one was 150 and the other was 300. But Sharon was asking, what is your price range? What's your minimum and your, I guess, if there's a maximum?
I think you're dealing with probably, you're probably right in the 100 area, $100 area piece right now in terms of the price points. I've made a couple pieces since coronavirus down to like maybe $50, you know, because making a smaller piece is more intense than making a larger piece, you know, because when you make a tiny piece, you know, the glass, it's a lot more detail. It's almost like when I was working with Kitty shoes. It took a lot more money to make kid shoes than it did for adult shoes.
Really?
Yes. You know, because the mold that they use for kid shoes versus the adult shoes is like night and day. So it's a lot more money to make kid shoes than adult shoes. The same thing with a picture. When you're making a smaller picture, the detail in terms of the glass and finding the little tiny pieces with that shape, it's a lot more work.
All right. She was asking if you do special requests. We actually, I asked him that earlier, but he was saying no, he doesn't do commission pieces really. But you have you can go to the Instagram page, which is gonna like I said, I'm gonna put a link on my page after the show, and you can go to his Instagram. You can see the ones that he already has, and you can choose from there. How many pieces do you have right now, Earl?
I have about 45 pieces. I have about 45 pieces, and I'm finishing up 2 pieces by the end of this week. There's 2 more pieces that it's been in motion, and 45 right now. So.
All right. That's pretty cool. You know, and like I said already, every piece is an original. Every piece is unique. There are no 2 pieces alike. So, you know, people definitely have to take that into consideration when they're buying a piece, or, you know, when they're looking at the piece. There's no 2 pieces alike. You know, not like when you go to one of those galleries and you see 10 people already bought prints of this. No.
Right. I know.
Have you ever thought of doing prints of your pictures, like maybe just taking a professional picture of it, a really nice one, and then just do a print of it, or you just want to keep it as the glass?
I have never thought about that, but I think moving forward is something to think about. It's a great idea. I just never really venture off into it. You got to remember, this stuff really started getting more serious early last year. So the infant stage is still there. You know, it's still evolving, you know. I get a lot of different questions in terms of when I tell people I did one 20 years ago, they you know, so you should be like Da Vinci right now. No, not necessarily. It's still progressing as we move forward. You know?
And the thing is, people don't understand with art too is your mind matures with you know, and the art matures with it as well. So like you said, that was a year ago. Now after the coronavirus, you're seeing life a little bit different. When you go out, you're going to see things a little bit different, you know. So the same way the world changes, your perception of the world is going to change, and the art is going to reflect that. So yeah, so there's a lot to it, you know. But yeah, I mean, I've seen your pieces. Your pieces are great. You know,
Thank you.
when I get my mansion, I want to get one of those one of those big ones. You know, what's the largest size that you do?
The largest size I have right now, I think, is 36 by 48. That's the largest one I have right now. I try not to, I'm not at the point where I have a really big truck or SUV that I could, when I take them to shows, I have to the easels have to be in there, the tables I have. So I'm like a pick up and go. I could set up an art show, and Steve, you've seen me set up a little mini thing at an event there. That's kind of what I do. I can tailor the
In and out
event.
in 5 minutes.
Yeah, like in and out type thing. And I also can do a big event, but I try to, it's good because I just want to get my art out there, and I show it to a lot of people. I can't really do it as much now because sometimes you go around these places that people are struggling. The last thing you want to see is somebody bringing some glass pitchers around. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to keep their doors open to be worrying about trying to buy some pictures. So, I understand. But I really feel things are going to get better, and I think
Definitely.
that the people that's doing something a little different and they're staying with it is going to pay rewards. And so you can't just give up and say, well, this coronavirus is going to be forever. I think we really going to have to put our foot down to get it stopped. And that's going to take a while. But I still think that you have to follow your passion. You have to, if something is not working, you have to work at something else. So I've been learning other things on the side other than art, because I know that, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So that's kind of where I'm at, right now.
And the thing too is to pivot. Like yesterday, I had a chef on the show, Ryan Redeno. And he was he's a chef to the celebrities out in Los Angeles, and he's done so much different stuff. But now, since the corona, he doesn't have the big parties to cook for because no one's doing those big parties anymore. So what he did was he just did a total pivot and started still cooking the same meals, but now he has them as meal preparation, where he just put them into containers, and he can send them out to the people. So it's like he took what he was already doing and just changed it around a little bit, and is still making money during the pandemic. So like I tell people, just find a way to pivot what you're doing, and yeah, it'll be a great thing, because honestly, I mean, what you're doing, your artwork is awesome. It's great work.
Thank you very much. My point right now with the pictures is actually saying that, surround yourself with something beautiful in your home, because you're spending more time at home,
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I'm going to come up with some kind of phrase on that one, but that's kind of where it is. You just have to follow that passion. You just have to, matter of fact, this Market Day 4 that we're looking at here again, it actually started back with Market Day 1. So I actually have Market Day 1, Market Day 2, Market Day 3, and this is Market Day 4. Market Day 1 was sold. Market Day 2 was actually auctioned off. So in the home right now, I'm sitting on Market Day 3 and Market Day 4. I try to do some, charity work if I can, because I just love getting them out there. Hopefully the people that have them appreciate it, and that's my ultimate goal.
Maybe you should do a virtual auction or something with your artwork during the pandemic. That'll be a great thing too. Just have it where people could bid on the artwork, and I don't know. We'll talk about that. Maybe we could do something like a virtual auction. I mean, that'll be a great thing.
That's a great idea, Steve. We need people like you. That's give me probably $55, $65, $65, $75, $85, $85. A person like you, Steve, probably would be great at something like that. I don't have any insight on that, but I'll be more than happy to do that. I'll have all my pictures up, and hey, if that's possible, hey, let's go ahead and do it, man.
We'll talk about that. We're going to look into that and see, because that would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You know what, Steve? I really like looking at these options. The people that actually doing it when they speak so fast, after time, I don't know what they're saying. They be talking these different dollars going real fast, and I'm looking at people putting up their hand and stuff like that. I just love watching something like that. I don't know about you, but I love it.
I tell you, it's great. I remember, actually, I used to go to an auction, Jay Sugarman auction, in North Miami, right off
Okay.
of 183rd and 95.
Hmm.
And that's how they used to do it, because what he would do is he would auction off things, like when companies go out of business or restaurants
Okay.
or whatever, all the stuff they would get the things from, they would get the things and auction them off in, either for the company or for the county if the county actually foreclosed on it. And
Okay.
they would do that, and you're seeing people going up and the hand going up, and I'm like, I can't even catch what this guy is saying.
I
He's like,
know.
and I'm like, what did
I
he
know.
say? By the time
Yeah.
I catch it, he's saying sold, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. They hit the hammer down and boom, boom. So it's great. I mean, it's I there's ways. I do some research on some of these virtual art shows that's going on, and they're amazing. The technology that goes behind it, and part of it is being aware of the technology and confidence in dealing with the technology. So it's something that's another learning process with the coronavirus right now. uh, there's still a lot to learn. Okay, and you have to take advantage of YouTube, because I've been going on YouTube. I never been a tech savvy person, I'll be honest with you.
Mhm,
Even when I used to work at Kinney Shoes as a trainer manager,
mhm.
I mean, I had my ups and downs. People asked me how I was successful. I just really hired people smarter than me, and that's how I got away with it. I mean, you
That-
want a job? Do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do this computer with all the stuff they're talking about? Yes, you do it. You teach me. Boom, you got a job. So that's kind of how I used to kind of deal with as a trainer. I always
Mhm.
had good people around me, and I was always able to find good people. That's how I survived. Yeah,
All right, give me 2 seconds. I need to run a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you.
you
You know
got it.
how we do, you gotta pay the bills.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 754-213-2820. If your car could talk, it would say call Curvin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Curvin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you. All right, and we are back. All right, so we're talking to Earl Ferguson, and Earl is a cut glass artist. So we're talking about some of his art, which is right here. And as you guys can see, this one here is a person climbing a coconut tree. I don't want to say a guy because women climb trees too. We growing up in the islands, we know the women can do it, the girls can do what we do.
That's it. That
And
is
this
it.
one here. And this one here is Market Day, which I love this piece. I love both pieces. They're actually really good. The sun up here, what did you use for the sun? Or is that a painting? Is that
That's
part
a
of the painting?
painting. That's a painting. Everything is a painting. And be honest with you, Steve, we're not really looking at some of the artwork with the roughage in the back, but a lot of the pictures I make is even before it's painted over, there's a roughage in the back to give it a different effect. That actually is a sun. That was a painted sun in the background there, and it was
Mhm.
done with a much thicker paint. It's a much thicker paint that's laid on top of the paint that's in the background.
Mhm. Wow. These are nice. These are very nice. We definitely have to do that auction, I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
So now, what about the idea of possibly even teaching a class? Teaching, we spoke about that before. Teaching the kids at one of the schools that I volunteer at, and we spoke about different things. What about that? Or would you possibly even open up some kind of a class where you can have people come in and learn how to do cut glass? You know.
I'm open to it. I remember on one show I was on there, and they were speaking about, cutting. Do I wear gloves? And a class like that, I would actually have to start wearing gloves with the
Mhm.
student, because I don't wear gloves when I do mine, because it's all with the feel. You know, I'm just used to feeling them, and the feel is very important in terms of picking them up. Gloves, I don't know. I'll try it just to see how I feel with a glove, but I'm open to teaching. I really, really want to teach this work because
Mhm.
I think there's a lot other people are going to see that I'm not seeing in terms of these pieces. So I'm open up to all that in terms of teaching, and let me know. I know you deal with the kids a lot, and
Yeah.
even to show a demonstration, I'll be open to do that at any time.
I just had an idea in my mind here, because how you have the thing where people go and do the art, and they do the wine. You could do art and wine. Yours could be called something like cut glass of wine or cut glass of wine or something. Like a glass of wine. Get it?
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, cut
Because the
glass of
glass is in there.
huh?
You say the glass is in there, so that would kind of twine
Yeah,
in.
and call the name cut glass and wine or something. Yeah, I think something like that would work. You could have something like that where people
We
could
still
come on
got to
the
be careful. We still got to be careful there, Steve, because when you're dealing with wine and people drinking and breaking it up, we don't want to have too much wine. This may be a glass, maybe one glass,
one
because
glass.
when they come to the event, and the event is like, my thing is uncut glass pitchers, and they're drinking wine and they're thinking about breaking up some wine glasses. I'm gonna put you in charge of that department, because I think you'd handle that lot better than I would.
It'll be like at a Greek restaurant, when you have a good meal, you break the plates and everything.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Some of those cultures, I think even on some weddings, they do a lot of breaking a glass.
Yeah. Or
So
you stomp on the glass in order to when you first get married. Yeah.
yeah,
Sharon said she would go to something like that. See, I'm telling
oh,
you.
yeah, well, yeah, that's a great idea, Steve. Let's get some tickets sold while we're on air.
I'm telling you that let's figure something out and make it happen. I'm telling you. See, that's what it's all about, though, the collaboration.
Right.
See, look, Tika's chiming in. Tika said cut glass wine and cheese social event. There you go.
Show you this
Oh
one here.
wow. That one's
This,
nice.
I don't. It might be a little reflection there, but this is the coronavirus one. This was made of strictly shattered glass, and this was
That's
done
nice.
for historical reasons for the coronavirus. And I thought I'd just kind of put that up there real quick. Yeah.
That is a nice piece. Hold it up again. Let them see it again. Wow.
Sorry about the reflection
That
of the glass. Can you
no,
see
that's
it?
good. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do a quick screenshot of that because I want to just put it up on the screen a little bit so people can see it. Yeah, but that's nice. I like that.
You good?
Yeah, got it.
Uh,
Wow, that's nice, man. See how talented you are.
uh, Thank you. That's probably what I should have
Man.
did earlier, Steve. I should just be lifting up some pieces and showing them to you.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, everyone they're jumping on the idea of the cut glass of wine cheese event.
Wow.
You know, let's do this. We got to make that happen.
There you go. 6 feet apart, though.
Yeah, 6 feet apart. 'Cause this way and that'll be even good because then you only have like maybe 5 or 6 tables in a room. You know.
Okay.
Let me see if let me go to. I think I just all right, there we go. So now let's go ahead and share that one so we can put that up on the screen too. There we go. Perfect. And that's a nice one because I mean you got your coronavirus thing right there. The person's holding up a shield blocking it. And you did not cut this glass at all. You just broke it and you just took the pieces from the roughage, if you will, and just put them together.
That's it. That's it. You find a piece and just make that angle, and just work around it. And a lot of a couple of the other ones I made, the person actually have on a mask, and this person also have on a mask. Be honest with you, the mask is on the person right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, this is great.
Thank you.
So, what part did you find first when you were doing it?
To be honest with you, I was looking at the little small piece, and it was called. The mask is the only piece on this one that have stained glass. So it was a small white piece of stained glass that I saw that kind of got me started, and that was the mask. And from there, I kind of build around it because most of the pictures I'm using now is a higher percentage of stained glass versus the mirror. But this one, I thought that if I use more mirror, it will reflect a lot more. And I have a coronavirus that I did actually that it's strictly stained glass. But this one, I wanted to do it a little bit different because I know the background would actually bring out the mirror. So I reflected back on when I started early last year in terms of a theme that I wanted to use. And that's why I use the mirrors only with that tiny piece of stained glass.
So what does something like this go for?
That one is about $175.
Again, very good price. Very, very good price.
And Steve, another thing before I forget here, 90% of my pictures are already framed. They're already framed with a glass over them, and the frame is there. And, this one, I did not have a glass over it because of the fact that it was a thicker, so I just have it in the frame. And this is the exception to the rule. But 90% of the pictures already have glass and frame already completed.
And I was going to ask you that too, because this frame alone this is a pretty good frame. That's not a cheap frame. That's not a Dollar Tree frame. That's like that's not even a Walmart frame. That's more like a David's or one of those kind of high end kind of places.
That's right, Steve. I could tell you do a lot of shopping at those places. And what I really wanted to say there is that I love me some frames. And sometimes I will really see a frame and I would visualize what I would try to put into it. And so a lot of the frames I have is frames that I personally fell in love with. And they were just important to me as a lot of the pictures I put in it. And sometimes people don't understand that because sometimes I have a really nice picture, but the people just don't love the frame. And they said it doesn't go with their decor, if that's the right word. But I love me some frames, and this is one of my favorite frames. So
yeah, this is a beautiful frame.
I think it would, some of the frames I feel would blend in with just about anything. But we're in a modern era right now, so I just think that a lot of these pictures, believe you me, when you have one of them, and if it's in your home and somebody come and visit you, it's going to be a talking point because they never seen it before. And that's why I catch a lot of attention sometimes when I go to these shows. People are just, they're just inquisitive because they've never seen it before. And some people get scared because they said it might be so expensive. Some people, they will kind of back off, because they say, my goodness, they think it costs hundreds and thousands of dollars. It doesn't. This is very inexpensive pictures, and I try to be very reasonable because I want to get my work out there. And that's the whole point about it. Go ahead.
And Tika put a comment. She said it looks as if someone's in battle fighting against the coronavirus, saying you will be defeated and you have no place here. So it's like people can look at your artwork and just come up with the story right away around that artwork, and that's the beauty of art, you know.
That is true. I have done some pieces, Steve, that people I saw one thing, and then people are just telling me something totally different than they're seeing, and then when I look at it, I say, yeah, oh, I see what you're saying. So, you know, and a lot of times it's customers that name my pieces. I remember when I did my first dancing in the moonlight. I really didn't have a name for it. I sent it off to a guy out of state, and then he sent me a song, Dancing in the Moonlight, and then I named it Dancing in the Moonlight. And then from there, I made 4 other pieces, Dancing in the Moonlight 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, you know, it's people that inspired some of the names that come out with this one, you know, these different pieces.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is good work. I think we need to sit and chat about that virtual auction thing. You know, see what we
Man,
can really do on that.
I'm ready. You're the perfect person for this, Steve, in terms of you reach so many people, man. Let's go ahead and do it.
Let's make that happen. All right. So, do you have any you have a 1 minute wrap up for my viewers? You know, just anything you want a nugget of information you want to leave with them or anything?
Yeah, to be honest with you, for the viewers still listening, you know, feel free to just go to my you know, my Instagram. It's Ferguson Oral. That's Ferguson. So it's at Ferguson Oral. And you'll be able to see, I would say right there, you probably see maybe about 30 of them. And, you know, feel free to go to my Facebook page. You'll see some of them there too. And that's, you know, Ferguson J, Oral J Ferguson. And, you know, give me a call too if you have any questions. I mean, I'm here. I'm like everybody else. And I can answer those questions, you know, in depth. Again,
right.
Thanks for your time, Steve, and I appreciate you having me. I'm looking forward in talking to you in the near future, and you know, you have a great day.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much for being on the show, Aro. As always, I mean, every time I talk to you, dude, it's like you always have a different piece of art, and it just is wow.
Thank
All
you.
right, so let's go ahead and talk about the auction and see what we can do. Okay.
You got it, buddy. Thank
All
you.
right. Talk to you later.
Goodbye.
All right, guys. You know, again, I thank you guys very much for watching. As always, you know, we like to bring you the best of the knowledge and the best of the artists and the people that we have in our community. Oral is doing something great, something outside the box that a lot of us, you know, are just now learning to appreciate. And as we can see with some of the art that he has, I mean, that artwork right there was awesome. You know, I love that. I love that one. That's great. So let's do this. Let's if you guys need a piece of art or anything, let's go ahead and get in touch with Oral and just pick up something. Like he said, he has pieces as low as like $35. It'll be in your house, and I guarantee you, anyone that comes in, that's going to be the first thing they see, and that's going to be the first thing they talk about. And they're going to go home, and then they're going to come back and say, where'd you get that piece of art? Or they may even ask you right there and then. But the thing is, you know, we have a better appreciation for things. And like he said, when you have a piece of beauty in the house, it makes your house feel better. It makes it feel more welcoming, more inviting, you know. So look him up, you know, and see if there's a piece that you would like from his collection. All right, guys. Well, it's a little bit after one. Well, a lot bit after one. So basically, you know, it's time for us to head back to work. And who do I have on tomorrow? I got to look at that and see. But check lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com. You'll see some of the past guests that we've had, some of the ones that are coming up on the show, and you'll get to see a lot more about the things that we're doing, a lot of the books that we've had on the show, and different things. So check out the website, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com. All right. Also, another thing is we have that get help section. So if you guys need help, please use the get help section. We have things on there like the suicide prevention hotline. Sometimes you guys might just need someone to talk to. We all need someone to talk to sometimes. It's totally confidential. There's also other things on there like 211 where if you need help with your rent, you need help with your light, whatever, they help you with that. If you need food, you can go and look up Farm Share or Feed America. These are all on the website. You just put in your zip code. It tells you where there's a food bank near you and how you can go ahead and get the food from that food bank. So all this information is there for you to use. Please do not just sit by and not use it, okay? Please go and use that information. Go to lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com and you can go to the get help section, and any of the things that you see on there, these are national organizations that are 100% confidential. It does not go through me. I'm just giving you the link to their organization. There's also the link to the National Missing and Exploited Children Network. I'm pretty sure I mixed up the words in there somewhere, but go into that as well. Put in your zip code. There are so many children that are missing, adults for that matter, that are missing. You don't know. You might pass that person in Walmart or Publix or 7-Eleven, and or you might just see them on the street. Please check out those and see. All right, guys. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and do a random act of kindness. All right, guys. Peace.
La